Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Jax, and welcome back. It's kind of funny. Part of part of my struggle with making YouTube videos is not coming up with content. Like I've always got a million things to say, and I'm ready to say them. One of my biggest issues is finding like good backdrops because I want to mix it up. I want to like have different things in the backdrop. Like today, it's this really cool painting my dad is obsessed with. We have a bunch of these abstract paintings all over our houses because my dad really likes the artist. He's good friends with the artist. So yeah, that's what that is today. But I just like, I don't know. I just always feel like I want to have a cool backdrop today because like I don't want it just to be like me in my bedroom all the time. And I feel like I've been pretty good, but it kind of brings me into the topic that I want to talk to you about today, which is finding your vibe. All of my friends get so sick of me because I talk about the vibe all the time. I'm like, oh, well, what's the vibe like? I'm in a good vibe right now. And vibe being short for vibration, if you've never heard that said. I'm sure you have, though. And I don't know, I think there's like a big thing about like finding your vibe, finding the way and how you interact with the world. Because I thought about this a lot when I was like a 13-year-old, 13, 14, 15, because everybody seems to have this vibe, this kind of presence or this aura or this kind of way that they carry themselves and this energy that they have. And have you ever met somebody and you're just like, man, they are so cool. What the heck? Like, you just want to be around them all the time. They just have this energy that makes you kind of lean in a little bit and you're just like, I'm interested. What the heck is this? Or you meet somebody and you're just really turned off. You're like, oh, this person is no, 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 no. I don't want to be around this person. And so everybody seems to have this like characteristic about them that makes you either interested or, you're kind of disgusted by them or, like everybody has this energy behind themselves. And a lot of it has to do with the way they act. Sometimes they don't even have to say a word, but you're around them and you're like, this person is not my vibe, not the thing I want. And obviously there's like prejudice and all kinds of things that come into it. But I think every human has a distinct vibration or frequency or whatever you want to call it. Every single person has this kind of energy attached to them. And I do think some of that you can kind of choose your vibe and choose what kind of energy gets sent out. And I know I'm talking kind of like airy fairy, kind of loosey goosey, that kind of thing. But hopefully you understand what I mean. And you kind of like, you don't think I'm just like some crazy lunatic, which I like is fair if you do. But I think you do have a lot of overt choice in the energy you put out and how people receive it. There's also a lot of like covert and subconscious things going on underneath the surface that sort of shape everything. But I do think you get a big choice in how you project yourself. So when I was like 13 or 14, I really wanted to be like the quiet kid. I wanted to be that like mysterious, quiet kid. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, everybody sort of turns and they're like, whoa, like where did that come from? That's what I really wanted to be. And if you've been here long enough, you know that is not who I am at all. I like to think that I'm not a huge loudmouth, but I talk about things thoughtfully. I'm very honest. I'm very open. I really try the whole good vibes only thing. I want to be just happy and I want to make other people happy and I just want to have a good time. And so as this like little 13-year-old, I'm trying so hard in class not to say anything. And people are like, what the heck is wrong with Jax? Like, he hasn't said anything today. Like, is he like depressed or something? So like, it wasn't working from the very first day. And my parents were like concerned. They're like, what is going on with him? Like, what the heck? And I was just really trying to have this particular vibe. I wanted this thing, and it was not working. And I very quickly dropped it and just decided to be myself and accept my vibe. But I was able to incorporate things that I really like about myself. Like, I decided that I like making people happy, so I'm gonna lean into that. And I won't be afraid to say a joke now and then at my own expense, or to make somebody laugh, or to change the subject when people are talking about sad things. And I'd be like, let's talk about something that's fun, because life is a multitude, and you get to choose what you focus on. And so I did shape my vibe, as it were. I did choose what I wanted to be like, but in some ways it was innate. In some ways it's me to my very core. It's not me putting on anything. It's not really me choosing those kinds of things, but you do get to moderate, I would say. And if you really don't like who you are, I think it really is possible to change your perception and how you look at the world. Like, if you're a pessimist and you constantly see everything is going to garbage, and problems are happening, and all this stuff is just, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening, and what are we doing here, and what's going to happen here? I do think it's possible, with some hard work, you can start to see the world in a different way. I've actually never looked in to see if there are studies that talk about changing people from an optimist to a pessimist, or vice versa, but that would be an interesting subject. And at the end of the day, like, you really do get to choose what energy you put out and how you treat other people, because that's is basically what I'm talking about. I'm talking about treating other people in a specific way and giving people the impression that you are friendly, or that you are standoffish, or that you are really cool, or that you're super popular, or whatever. There are these things that innately, I don't know, shape your perception. And some of it is like really, really obvious. Like, if you have a face that is just constantly, like, you walk around in life and your face is like this, like, people aren't gonna approach you. Like, we all know what that's called, and people are gonna be scared of you. But if you walk around with like a good smile, or just like your neutral face is just sort of like this, you're gonna have a different perception. And even little things like that do shape how people perceive you. And it really comes down to, like, how do you want to be perceived? Or do you even want to think about how you're perceived? Or do you want to just live your life, and if people accept you, they accept you? Because that's a valid approach as well. The idea that you need to somehow manicure the way people approach you is, not necessarily the right thing to go for. If you want to just have people approach you the way they approach you, and that's the way it all falls out, then great. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're someone like me, who is very invested in making people feel good, making people feel accepted and heard and listened to, then I do think you should spend a bit of time thinking about these things thoughtfully, because it's not nice to make somebody feel like an idiot. Like, I remember hanging out with people who made me feel so stupid and so ridiculous. And, anytime I said anything, they would correct me, and they would say, "You're like, that's not true. Like, that's totally wrong. Like, why would you even say that?" And just like put me down for no reason. And back then, I used to think that I was just this really, really dumb kid, but I was just hanging out with really mean people. And they made me feel like that to make themselves feel better or superior or whatever. Because I genuinely thought, like, everything I say is always somehow wrong, or, it's too exaggerated, or, and it wasn't. What I was saying was not wrong. It wasn't exaggerated. It was just that I was surrounded by people who had a really bad vibe. And that's what it came down to. So I don't know. Do you want to shape the way you're perceived? Do you want to just be you, authentically you? And if people accept you, then great. And if they don't, they can leave you alone. Um, you know, how do you want to experience it all? How do you want it all to wash out in the end? And you get to shape that, which is really cool. Like the idea that we get to choose who we want to be, that's really cool. Obviously, like some of it, like I said, is innate, but a lot of it is choice. You get to choose, you get to decide how you treat people. And I really encourage you to treat people with respect, with love, compassion, understanding, um, honesty. And that's the best we can do. So, hope your vibe is good. Hope you're having a good vibration today. Hope the mood is good and you're having a beautiful day. And as always, guys, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.